This is a light-friendly zone. Can we keep the lights on?
And they could see we in the room. That's the issue. They could see we. We're not doing nothing.
I'm not doing anything wrong. It was like 8 o'clock. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Tater.
I'm Justin.
And this is the
Wait, what?
podcast. Today we'll be getting into the actual drama of what happened with roommate.
Yeah, we've been saying for 3 episodes now that we're getting into this drama. This is where it officially
Begins.
Yep, and it sets off a lot of things. It puts a lot of things in motion.
Right.
That just
Right. And it hasn't seemed like that bad of drama. And this is getting into it. This is where people are going to be like, what kind of roommate did you have?
yeah.
Last week we ended with the winter ball and Christmas break and how Justin had never asked me to be his girlfriend. He just straight up told me he loved me.
Yep, that did happen.
And that's where
It is what it is, you know.
it all started. And I recently found out that it's not that he didn't talk about me to anyone. It just wasn't his family.
So it have Johnny and it have Jonathan, both interchangeable. We call them both the same name off and on. I think I mentioned your name to both of them.
Yeah.
Jael, and I'm not sure which other friends. If there's other people that I mentioned the name to.
Zephaniah.
Zeffy.
Zeffy, over Christmas break, he would be on the phone and Zeffy at that point, like sleeping in your bed with you.
Yeah, he was very young, so he couldn't sleep on his own yet.
Right.
And he used to sleep with me. Like when I was back in town, back in Trinidad,
Yeah.
he would sleep with me because as big brother, I reach home, he wanted to sleep with me, you know? So,
And he goes to bed at like 8:30, but
yeah,
Justin and I would be on the phone.
yeah. And Zeffy definitely saw that a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insert a picture that I took from that time,
Way back when.
way back when.
So he was one of the OG people.
Yeah.
Crazy. And when he grew up to see this episode, he gonna be like, what?
He probably had no clue what was going on.
Yeah.
Anyways, so after Christmas break, I don't know why, but this semester is blurry to both of us. I think because there was just so much drama. But like the drama is so clear to me.
Yeah.
So when we first got back, growing up, I always got strep throat. If I got sick, that was my sickness, was strep throat.
Growing up, I didn't know about strep throat. I learned about that because of her.
Yeah. And almost every year I've gotten it, besides this year. Almost every year I get it around the same time. Knocks me out for a week solid.
Yep.
Once we got back, I ended up getting strep throat pretty badly. And, you know, things were still kind of iffy between me and roommate. But, like, I thought we were still chill. We just chose not to necessarily hang out with each other as much as we used to.
Right.
And so I got strep. Justin went to Panera, which was 5 minutes down the road, not even, from our school, to get me some chicken noodle soup. And he also went to the pharmacy to pick up my antibiotics.
It was the first time I went out on my own with your vehicle.
Like a boyfriend type.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so he came, we already had a plan that we were going to watch a movie that night in the living room. And my roommates knew that I had strep throat.
Yeah.
And I texted them, hey, Justin is coming over to bring me my medicine and watch a movie with me since I'm sick. We'll be in the living room, because I didn't want them to feel uncomfortable with Justin being in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Well, then
We tried to set things straight and be like, yeah, like, yo, like it's multiple roommates, you know?
Right.
So we tried to be respectful and we tried to divvy up the places whenever we could and make sure to inform our roommates beforehand when we have people coming over. That's usually
Right.
how my agreement was in my room, and that's how your agreement was in your
right.
room, right? You let them know ahead of time.
But and that's all it was. It wasn't no boys. It was no boys I didn't know, but
Yeah.
they all knew you, and just let me know before, even if it's like 5 minutes before, just let me know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I followed our roommate agreement and whatnot. Well, then roommate decided to come home with 3 other friends.
Before we got there.
I was there. It was before you got there.
Before I got there.
I was like, oh, hey, roommate, like, Justin's coming over. I texted in the chat that like Justin's coming over. We're gonna watch a movie, and like I'm also sick, so like I don't know if your friends want to be here because I have strep throat. And she kind of just blew me off. She never really said anything. She's like, "Oh yeah, I saw it. It's okay." And so I was like, "Okay." And at that point, Savannah was at basketball, so she was never like home. She had practice or games or whatnot.
Right.
And yeah, so Justin ended up coming over, and I was like, "Okay, you can just like come to my room and like we'll just sit in my bed." Remember, I'm sick. I have a 101 fever. I do not want to eat anything. I just want to go to sleep, but I also want to spend time with you. And my roommate has these friends over that I don't know necessarily, and I'm sick. I'm contagious, okay? And my sweet, sweet boyfriend, fresh boyfriend, decided to spend time with me, even though he could potentially get sick.
In the short time that I knew her, now being her boyfriend, I didn't know what to expect about it. I just knew I was taking her medicine and soup to be a good, chivalrous, kind, loving boyfriend.
Right.
You know?
Right. So you get there, my tummy is getting all knotted because I'm like, I'm just thinking about what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
So I'm in bed and we have bunk beds. Insert another picture because I really like inserting pictures.
Yeah. I spoiled you with that one.
And yeah, so we had bunk beds. I was on the bottom bunk because I have rheumatoid arthritis, so I can't climb on the top bunk.
Right.
And I put twinkly lights under roommate's bed because she was above me. So when the lights were off, I could turn my twinkly lights on so it wasn't completely dark. Okay. I'm sick in bed. Okay. I'm under my sheets. I'm saying that so many times so you guys understand I am sick in bed with a 101 degree fever. Okay. Okay. I'm sick. Contagious.
Like, very sick.
Okay. I just want like it needs to be so clear. And I'm under my covers and Justin's on top of my covers because we're going to, if we're going to be in the room, we're going to respect boundaries. And like, we don't want my roommates to feel uncomfortable if they walk in the room and we're cuddling under the blanket.
And we only in the bedroom because she didn't respect what Tater had asked about having outside and saying that I'm coming over
and that
we're going to watch a movie in the living room. Tater was not confrontational, so she wasn't going to confront her about it.
Well, and it's our living space. Like, okay, fine. I know I'm sick. I'll contain it to the bedroom. But like, y'all can't get annoyed that there's a guy in the room, right?
Yeah. And at that time, it wasn't against the rules to have opposite genders in each other's bedrooms. Once again, we have to establish that. But I got into the room and I just went in the bedroom and gave her soup and stuff.
Made me take my medicine.
Yeah, made her take her medicine. And I got on top of the bed sheets because I was like, well, if you stay under the bed sheets and I get on top of the bed sheets, then the chances of me getting sick might be slim, you know? And I in a hoodie, I like cover up myself and like
I had an extra blanket that I wasn't using that if he was cold he could cover up with. Like but we weren't under the same blanket.
Yeah. And like we wasn't doing nothing. I was just sitting on there.
I'm sick. I have a 101 degree fever. Okay. It's so diabolical to me that I'm sick. Okay. So I'm on the inside of the bunk bed.
Yeah.
Justin's on the outside.
Like I like a pencil.
We're sardine. We're sardine. It's a twin bed.
I staying away from her, but I sitting on the bed, but I away from her. You know what I mean? Like I was like me trying to do nothing weird or like against the rules or anything like that to break the rules and like get in trouble and all them different things. Like no, me I doing none of that.
Right.
I pencil up on the side and she wrap up in a sheet like a sardine in the next side.
Yeah, and we were just I ate my soup and then I laid down, like leaned back and watched our movie. And so since he's on the outside, the big light was causing it to be in his eyes because I was under
ceiling light.
Oh yeah, the ceiling light. I was under the bed, under the roommate's bed, and so I was being blocked. Yeah. I didn't have the big light in my eyes.
Yeah.
But you did because you were on the outside.
The glare was literally in my eyes.
So he's like, do you think it's okay if I turn off the light? And I was like,
there was other lights on, like lamps and the
there was the
twinkly
lamp,
lights
yeah,
and
and then the bathroom light,
the bathroom light, like
and
everything
the
was
door
on.
was wide open.
Yep, the living room door was wide open,
And the
so
lights in the
everyone
living room were
outside,
on.
yeah, everyone outside knew we were in there. They could see us, and nothing happening. You know what I mean?
So at one point, roommate was going home for the weekend. It was a long weekend or something.
Yeah.
So she comes in. When we turn off the light, she comes in. She's like, "Hey, is it okay if I pack to go home?"
Mind you, we just turned off the lighter.
Right.
And she coincidentally walks in about 5 to 10 minutes after.
Right.
And she asked to put the light on.
And she's like, "Can I turn on the light so I can pack to go home?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Like, that's fine." Which is kind of like inconvenient. You already kicked me out of the bedroom and you're making my boyfriend uncomfortable. And now you're going back in the bedroom with your friends out in the living room.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, whatever. So she starts packing. Well, then she's yelling to her friend from the bedroom into the living room.
She left the room after like 2 minutes. Left the light on.
Right. And then we sat there for like 10 minutes with it on.
Yeah, it was like another 10 to 15 minutes. We sat there and the light was on.
And she never came back into the room to pack.
She never came back. Literally never.
I just remember the exact words she said.
Yeah. Like, so I look over at Tater and I was like, so can you take the light back off? Like, we thought
maybe she just forgot. She was very forgetful like that. And I was like, yeah, go ahead and turn it off. Like, I don't think she's coming back in here. It's been like 10 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
At this point, we're halfway through our movie and we haven't been able to enjoy it because of this. I'm feeling sick because I'm sick because I have 101-degree fever. Yeah. And the big light is in Justin's eyes.
I will say, Tater was a little irritated because she was sick.
Right.
She was sick.
I wasn't feeling good.
And this is, mind you, this is my first time dealing with a white girl who's sick.
Okay, so
and I take super she medicine. I don't know about this strep throat thing. I just say my immune system strong. I come from Trinidad. I have all the green seasoning up in the States with me.
Right.
My
Your
pepper sauce. Everything I eat in Trini food still. I'm making my own food. My immune system real good. I can go and sit down on this bed. Right? And this girl will leave the room and I was like, but what trouble is this? Like she friends outside. She come in asking one thing.
Right.
She do something else and then she gone. And you could tell that she just faked to come in the room.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she just get lost in your stuff outside because she wanted to put the light back on. That's what it looked like.
Right. So Justin got up after the 10, 15 minutes to turn the light back off. When he turns the light back off, we hear her from the living room yell enough so we can hear it, but not like she's mad. This is a light-friendly zone. Can we keep the lights on?
Brother, when I hear light-friendly zone, I was like, what the deal is girl talking about, boy? I sat back down on the bed.
Back down.
Yeah.
And I remember, I'm sick. I have 101-degree fever. I'm curled up like a cocoon in my blanket because I'm sick. I turned my head as slow as possible and looked at him. I said, did she just say light-friendly zone? And he's like, I think so. To know how mad I was, my sick self, 101-degree fever, jumped over Justin because he's on the outside. I get up, I walk over, and guys, I try so hard not to be petty. I'm sick. I have 101-degree fever. I get up, and I close the door. I crack it. It wasn't completely closed, but I closed the door because don't tell me listen, guys, she's 2 years younger than me, okay? Do not tell me as a 20-year-old, maybe I was 19, but don't tell me what to do. I'm not doing anything wrong. It was like 8 o'clock. I just wanted to eat my soup, sit with my boyfriend, and watch a movie while I was sick. But no, it's a light-friendly zone.
And I was like, sorry, my bad. And Tater
he turned the light back on.
Yeah, I turned the lights back on. And Tater heard that. And she, mind you, she had no strength. She was literally just like dead. I don't know what is with dead, but she was dead and she couldn't move. And she raised up like Lazarus out of the dead and switch off the light.
And close the door.
Switch off the light and stretch and pull the door and close it in. But the way she's still respectful, she leave a crack in the door this time. And they could see we in the room. That's the issue. They could see we. We're not doing nothing. She's sick like a dog on the side of the road. Dead in. And she...
Literally, all she had to do was tell me. hey, it makes me really uncomfortable that you guys are in there. But if you wouldn't have taken the living room in the first place, we wouldn't have to be in the freaking bedroom.
Exactly. She can leave the light on everywhere because in the living room, you could more than see everything. Anybody walk in the room, the people outside when the window open could see we in there. But she was in the living room. The door was open for she in the first place so that she could see everything. And the lights was on. The lamp, something was on.
That was the first time you've ever seen me like mad.
Yeah.
Like,
and she was sick. 101-degree fever. And literally dead in bed. And I literally went on my way to buy she food and get she medicine.
So that was the first major thing where it just threw a wrench in our friendship, mine and roommates. Because I mean, like, we had issues before, but this was the first thing where it was obvious that she didn't appreciate me being in the room. And this is the first time that I was actually like annoyed with her to the point where like I was out of the room a lot of the time. I ended up being in Justin's room a lot more than before.
And mind you, Tater was an introvert and I was an extrovert. So obviously, like, she's now stepping out. And at this point, this is like January 2023 coming back.
Yeah.
You got sick beginning of the year. And I had already been around Virginia Beach. I had been everywhere. I had been gallivanting everywhere. And this incident is what caused her to have to like leave her room more. She had no issues with roommate. She didn't think roommate had issues with her. And this was the first major incident where roommate showed no respect. She threw the morals out the door. In private, it was something compared to public. And I was just very hypocritical in my opinion, looking back at it now.
She just seemed very like holier than thou.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that just didn't sit right with me.
We had rules to follow. I was an international student. I followed every single rule that there was for that campus.
Well, and at this point, you had applied to be an RA.
I had my RA interview and whatnot.
I found out later that she actually ended up, this was the first time she went to our RA about me and about us.
Yeah.
And you guys can hear about that later.
We get into any story.
But that was a major, I didn't know it, but that's what caused a huge like rift between us because she, without talking to me, she went to the RA about it.
So Tita get vexed, switch off the light and everything, and we just watch the movie and whatever. Tita takes your medicine. Literally it was early o'clock. I can't remember what time it was.
I'm pretty sure I ended up falling back asleep while you were still in there, so you just left.
And I ended up leaving because she was sick. So I was like, well, I'm busting.
Right.
But I just said, focusing on the other times. From there, before we get to the fun times, it have my side of the story with my roommate.
Right. You were having some roommate issues too.
Yeah. So my issues weren't that bad, I would say, but it was still a bit frustrating to deal with.
It also shows that you just don't go to your RA about every little thing when you can handle it yourself.
Exactly. Us men handle it right.
It was the same thing. You were going through the same thing that she was going through, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
And so, but like you handled it.
Yeah, I handled it. I had to handle it, you know?
So
I understand that going to your RA is a big thing. Like, you should be going to your RA. I turned out to be an RA for 2 years, and I understood why people came to an RA and whatever. However, the way she did it with deceit, and she lied, and it was just a whole big story.
RAs will always ask, "What did you talk to your roommate about it first?"
Yeah,
that's the first thing that you do.
And she lied about it. So anyways, getting to my side of things, I had two roommates. One I was closer to than the other at this point. We all started off really good. There wasn't really any issues in the room other than some cleanliness issues that we had to work out between each other as boys. And like, somebody wouldn't wash the dishes, and it's like this and like, you know, petty things.
Annoying little things.
Yeah. But then one of my roommates ended up being in a relationship who turned out to be your bestie for the restie. I don't know what that term is, bestie for the restie.
I don't either.
But she called Tater her bestie for the restie.
I met her in one class.
Yeah.
And we were in a group together, and I ended up being her bestie for the restie. And here's the thing. You will text my bestie for the restie something, and it would be like, hey, did you get answer B on whatever? And instead of just texting yes, she'll call you and be like, yeah, I definitely got that. That's the answer I got for this and blah, blah, blah. And talk on the phone. And like, I know that's not a big deal, but it's like, I'm in the middle of studying and you're just going to call me up to answer a question that could have just been an easy, like, yeah, that's what I got.
Well, bestie for the restie was with one of my roommates. And that was an interesting one. The relationship was kind of interesting to me. It was kind of funny.
Right.
It was kind of jokey. But one of the things that absolutely sent me off by the end of the year, and I should have gone to my area about it,
right.
was, yes, I used to be up late at night editing and stuff, right? I used to pull all-nighters often and whatever, but I editing with headphones on. And I am being respectful, I'm being soft, I'm being quiet. I know not to keep my tone too loud. This particular roommate that was in a relationship as well. One of them was single, one was in a relationship. So the relationship roommate, he used to be playing game right through the night.
All night.
All night. And I'd be like, how does man get time to study? Why? But he was playing game right through. And I never tell him anything in a disrespectful way. I spoke to my single roommate about it. And both of us were in agreement that we need to approach him and try to sort it out and be like, yo, can you like stop like gaming so loud in the night? Like we in school,
Right.
we
You
all
can
had to
still
sleep.
game.
You
Just
can
don't
game,
be
just
so
be quiet, a
loud.
little quieter, you know? And we both approached him. We didn't gang up on him. We approached him and we was like, yo, like according to like our agreement and stuff, this is what we have in place. Like,
Right.
can we like keep the tone on? My other roommate, the single roommate, this fella was vexed about it, you know.
Was he
Like,
really?
Yeah, because he was a light sleeper.
Well, and I
Right?
guess he would wake up to work at like 7 in the morning.
Exactly, yeah. And he would hear this fella playing
His
game loud.
desk was right against the
The
wall
wall.
that single roommate slept on.
Yeah. And that roommate was vexed about this next fella who playing game whole night.
Right.
You know? But anyways, gaming roommate, relationship roommate, same person. He was with her bestie for the restie. And they took over my room.
So
They took over my living room area. They took over our bedroom occasionally, but it was mainly the living room. And she bestie for the restie. She was in my room so much. I was so confused. I was like, what's going on here?
Because I was having issues with my roommate,
Yeah.
I was more so going either into Jamie and Sierra's room or I would go into Justin's room.
Yeah.
Well, I would never go into Justin's room without him being there ever, unless
Yeah.
unless he was right outside and I was like, oh, I forgot my backpack, or oh, I forgot whatever,
Yeah.
and I would go back in. But that wasn't the case for Bestie for the Restie.
Yeah. Bestie for the restie was walking in my room. It's our all boys room, and she was hanging out there throughout the day when she boyfriend gone.
Right.
And I want to know what going on here.
Well, and there was one point that you walked in and all the lights were off and she was just asleep on the couch.
Yeah, she
right?
was sleeping on my couch, dog. And I was like, what going on? Like, what are you sleeping on my couch for? Go in your room and sleep. Don't sleep on my couch.
He walked in and all the lights are off, so he like turns the lights on and she just like sits up off the couch, right?
Yeah. She sits up and I woke up and I was like, oh, sorry. I switched back off the light and I went to my bedroom. Now, there's no issue with them being in the room, but
It was her alone.
it was her alone in my room. She would just be liming in my room like it's nothing. And
Wait, what?
liming, you learn that one already, man. My friend Christina, she commented on it, you know.
Did she really?
Yeah. And she was like, I gonna start saying busting a lime in honor of
Oh,
you.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, big up Christina one time. So
I forgot I learned that one already.
yeah. So she was just lying in my room, like by herself, just chilling
Right.
out. And I was like, what's going on here? She have a room to herself.
Right.
You in my room, and that just weird. Like, what you doing in my room?
And it like he had gone to class.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah,
left her in there because he went to class.
Yeah.
And it was just weird. And it was multiple times that happened. Like I would walk in with you and we'd be laughing and stuff. And she'd just be chilling there. Oh, hey guys.
Yeah. And
Hey,
like,
where's
greet us.
roommate?
And it's like, why are you in our room? And my other roommate had an issue with this too.
Right.
But we kind of just dealt with it because it was the second semester. We knew we were getting different people in our room, and we were
Right.
like, we're gonna make a big deal about it. We live with it, you know?
Right.
So
Well, and at this point in our relationship, when I was coming over. This is when you actually started making me some food,
Yeah, I started
some
cooking for you.
Trinidadian food,
Yeah, yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
you know,
I was
good
making
stuff.
dal and rice. I was making curry chicken. I was making
Stewed
fried
chicken.
fish. I make bake and shark, but instead of shark, I fried mahi because I didn't get shark. Right?
Yeah, you couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't get shark, so I did mahi. I fried the mahi and I
Right.
make bacon shark.
And then
Make the sauce and everything.
stewed chicken.
Stewed chicken, that was one of her
That
favorites.
is my favorite to this day.
I was making roti.
Yeah.
I was making a bunch of different things, right?
Yeah, and we would eat just like wraps and stuff with like the roti.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
wraps,
yeah.
but sandwiches and stuff with
Yeah.
it.
And yeah, I was making things. I was chefing it up, you know what I
Yay.
mean?
He was doing a good job.
Yeah, yeah. So
He doesn't do that anymore.
anyways, so she was coming over because her roommate hit we a bad one. So she left her room and was hanging out in my room more. But then my roommate, one of the two roommates in my room, he had his booting just chilling in our room majority of the time.
Right.
Which was just weird.
Right.
So yes, she was coming out of her room and coming to mine, but we wouldn't really be in my room. We would just go to our friend's room instead. Our safe space kind of thing
Right.
to hang out was 208, where it was Jamie, C, Josh, Liv, like all of them,
right.
you know, all of them was inside of there. And a bunch of other friends too. And that was just really how it went, you know.
Right.
That was our experience so far. Second semester into school, into college, and we both had issues on each side, and
Right.
we wasn't trying to make a big deal about it, you know.
Right. And it got to the point where like I would end up with issues with my roommate. I'd end up basically sleeping over at Jamie and C's
Yeah,
because I didn't feel welcome. And on top of that, roommate would be up in her bunk tossing and turning all night. And so if you guys don't know, if the top bunk shakes, the bottom bunk shakes, okay?
yeah,
And so she would wake up at like 6 a.m. Her alarm would be going off. She wouldn't turn her alarm off before she went to the bathroom. She would just get up and go to the bathroom. She wouldn't climb down the stairs. She would hop off her bed. So 6 a.m, we heard dee 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 dee, and then dong, and then bonk bonk bonk.
and then in the
Flips the lights on.
last episode, you also said she took an hour in the bathroom.
Hour in the bathroom. So like, great, you woke me up from my class. I appreciate it. At least now I don't have to be woken up by my alarm.
But it spends an hour.
Yeah, and then I can't get ready. So then I feel like I'm waking Savannah up by trying to get ready in our room.
Yeah.
When roommate's in the bathroom, I just need to pee and brush my teeth.
It was
bro.
an inconvenience all the way around. I mean, I had my issues in my room. My roommates, if I can ever get them on a call, they will tell you we all had issues with sleeping, right? One of my roommates, I can't sleep with a fan on. It acts up my sinuses and whatnot, and my noses get stuffy and all these different things. My eyes get swollen. I can't sleep with a fan on. So very early on, I told them that one particular roommate had to sleep with our fan on, right? The room wasn't cold enough for him. So he would take his fan, blow it directly on him, and even that wasn't enough for him. So what he started doing, he started taking his blanket, putting it over his fan, and blowing the air straight into his sheet and air it out.
And then your other roommate
Another roommate used to do some crazy
sleep
things.
talk and
Yeah.
sleep acrobat.
Yeah, he was a real acrobatic and he sleep dog. Like he used to talk, he used to move, he used to like
Bend in
raise
half.
up. Like listen, I don't even know if he want me to say this, but I wouldn't say anything else. He used to sleep talk and like move in his sleep and wouldn't remember the next day. Like, and then they had me. I used to snore.
Used to?
I still snore, but I had a problem. I have a problem snoring, and my snoring used to wake up one of my roommates, and the next one used to wear headphones, so he didn't care. But listen, the roommates,
It's
the
hard
single
living with
roommate,
other people.
Yeah. And that 1 year of living with roommates, listen, it was
Well,
terrible.
Especially like you're the oldest.
Yeah, I was the oldest in the room. While to me, I could fall asleep in anything and anywhere, our other roommate, he couldn't. And it just annoyed him so much. And I feel so sorry for this man because he heard me snoring and he heard the next one playing game whole night. So I had my own roommate issues too, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is to tell you how things went between her room and my room. And unfortunately, on her side of things, it got way worse.
Yeah.
Way, way worse. And we start diving into it, right? We didn't lie to you all. We told you all in this episode you're going to hear more. You heard more. But there's a lot more to come. However, we have some more things to cover first.
Right.
So before we get into that,
it's time for an ad. I'm just kidding. I wish.
So this episode is brought to you by Justin and Tater. We proudly endorse Justin and Tater for sponsoring the Justin and Tater podcast called Wait What? Wait. So we had problems on both sides. Roommates on her side, my side, and coming on later down the road, it gets way worse. However, we had some fun.
Right.
We had some fun. It wasn't just all bad. We had some fun.
I feel like part of the fun, though, was caused because we just wanted to get out of our rooms.
Yeah,
and, like, not be there anymore.
We left our rooms. And it was the best thing ever.
Right. So Jamie's boyfriend at the time, now husband, they had a beach house in OBX.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jamie invited us to go to OBX. And this was the first time us going to North Carolina.
Outer Banks. For those of you that don't know OBX, OBX stands for Outer Banks. Obviously, people know this show already. But we went to Outer Banks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was cold.
Mm-hmm.
But it was nice to be. It was just Jamie and her family.
Mm-hmm.
Her boyfriend wasn't there.
Jamie's family,
right?
Honestly,
we love them.
They were very hospitable and like very welcoming, and they took care of us very well. Like we really appreciate Jamie's family, honestly.
Yeah.
And I spoke about Josh's family, but Jamie's family were also very, very kind and welcoming, and I really, really appreciated that.
Me too. And yeah, that was a really fun trip.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the only time we went to OBX. We went
so
to
that
OBX.
was only like a weekend, right?
Yeah, that was like 3 days.
Right. And then we came back to campus, and then we went again for spring break, like 2 weeks after or something like that.
I think it was more like a month.
Or maybe a month, I don't know. But it was spring break. We went for spring break.
So fun. We went, Jamie ended up going back with her boyfriend to his beach house. Yeah. But
5 of us, 6 of us rented an Airbnb.
Your cousin BJ.
Yeah, big up BJ. Listen, when I tell all you big up BJ, right? This fella, this is my cousin BJ. This was my first spring break in the US, in school and whatever, obviously. I think he drove to Virginia Beach that first year.
We left his car in
school. And he came, like her cousin came last semester for Thanksgiving.
A week, or a day, not even.
But then my cousin came now in spring break. And that was the best thing to me because it's the one cousin I have on my dad's side that I'm aware of.
And in the US.
In the US, on that coast, like, he's cool.
Time.
Like BJ was my boy, you know, like we were cool. We used to lime. Like before I went to school, we actually hung out in New York and Jersey and all them different places.
This is the first time that one of your family members is actually meeting me.
Yes, like truly meeting Tater for the first time.
We met over the phone a little bit, but it was very
brief.
Yeah.
So this is the first time someone in my family is meeting Tater, and it was fun. Like he came, he's a real vibe. He's a chill guy. He's cool. He came and he was down for anything, you know? Yeah. And he was down for anything. We told him like we go in OBX and whatnot. And he was part of the crew that went down there. It was like 6 of us that rented a house.
We took Sir Thomas, my truck, with us.
Yeah. So this was like the first hangout where all the friends actually left campus and had a good time off campus, like spending the night and like enjoying ourselves without the school setting and other people around and all these different things. So we enjoyed ourselves in OBX and it was still a little cool, not too bad.
Right.
The water was freezing, but the temperature was nice outside.
And it was beautiful. We're going to enter pictures like here and 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 here.
Yeah. And giving me more work. And we had a good time. Like everybody was cool. Everybody was chill. We had a lot of fun. I made food.
That was one of our best trips.
Yeah, that was probably...
Sorry, you were saying people had
a good time.
Oh.
People had a good time. And
yeah, I would say it's one of our best trips.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most memorable trips of my entire time at school.
Right. And at one point we drove down we were literally 5 minutes away from Jamie's boyfriend's house. Yeah. And so at one point we just drove down there, hung out with her for the week or the
The-
a few hours the
yeah.
evening.
Yeah. So it was good fun. The boys, like we was kind of weird, I would say. Like we went and we was digging in the sand and we dig like long river system.
Video right here.
And we was like putting down tree stump and all kind of thing in the ground. Like we was doing real madness, but we had fun, you know. And we also did like a
And
polar plunge because the water was,
was so
freezing,
cold.
and we all went in the water, and it was it was
Well,
icy cool. It was
and like
crazy.
Sierra and I were the only girls there.
Yeah.
There was like 6 of us,
Yeah.
and Sierra and I were the only
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah. And all of us, they were just chilling on the blankets and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then all the rest of us boys was just like
Digging
in the
felt
sand.
we felt like moms watching our toddlers in the sand.
It was
But
fun.
it
It was
was
that vibe.
so fun.
Yeah.
It was so fun. I definitely miss those times.
Yeah. And to all the trainees, I still stand by the fact that the beaches in Trinidad are one of the some of the best beaches in the world. And when I was up there, I said it to them: I don't go in the water in the beach in the US, right? I don't usually do it. I don't like it. I just think that when you grow up on an island and you experience beaches on an island,
Right.
you can't go in another beach that have no trees, no fellas giving you a tent, no coconut water, no nothing. You can't go on a beach like that and like do
Right.
things, you know. But with a big friend group, it was nice. It was my first
Right.
experience out there, and it was
And
nice.
it was your first experience experiencing that cold of ocean water, right?
Yeah. That's one of the main reasons I went in. Other people were going in and had some days and it was bets and whatever. And I was like, all right, I will go in the water because it's freezing cold. It's a little
Right.
challenge. Like, I know it ended up being like refreshing, rejuvenating, you
Right.
know? But, anyways, getting past that.
Yeah, I think that was the last trip before the major drama happened
Yeah.
with my roommate.
Yeah, it definitely was. And to tell you all the truth, like, we so far have told you all about how we met, the fact that I blank her straight
Right.
and didn't see her walking past her and whatnot. To this point now where we actually in a friend group, she's part of my friend group. We have some issues on both sides with our roommates, but we're making things work. And it wasn't all fun and games with personal lives with like
Right.
roommates and whatever, but our friends really helped pull us through.
For
And
sure.
It was our safe place to be in.
Specifically Jamie and C. I
Yeah.
mean, at least for me, they were right next door. They were people, like I said, I would sleep in their room. I would hang out with them, and they really were like people I could count on and people I still can't count on. So
Yeah. Same for me. Like I don't speak to them as often as I should. And I admit it, I am wrong. I'm so sorry, y'all. I should call y'all more often.
but like now we're married, so like now if they talk to me, they've talked to us. So I think it's okay.
Yeah. So big up to our friends that really pulled us through. For
Right.
me, I said in the early that these people were the ones that assisted me with my transition to school. And they were the ones that respected like who I was. They
Your
looked out
culture.
for me. They understood me. And we had a nice little group that was formed. Yes, I knew other people on campus and whatnot. However,
Right.
having that solid friend group that knows the ins and outs of you and really understands you really helps, especially when you're an international student in an unfamiliar place. You
Right.
know? The only familiar thing was the beach, and the beach was real dead too. So
Right. But yeah, so that is the first half of the second
the major
semester.
drama. Yeah. This one was a bit of a little story time with the dramas that happened. We
Yeah,
definitely,
for sure.
as we said, there was drama to speak about. We spoke about some of it. And when I tell her, this girl was petty. This girl didn't know how to act. She was being disrespectful and all kind of thing. It get way worse. Way worse. And
Yeah.
it definitely involved authorities that they need to be involved with in it. And she lied, and it was all kind of madness. Which she like,
Right. Yeah, so stay tuned for the last part of our drama and our relationship.
Stay tuned. We tell only just one more part to sum up everything for you all in that
Right.
first year. And then we go into a lot more fun stuff. We're gonna definitely have more people on the podcast.
For sure.
And this was just the introductory so far to us. Part 3 of 4. What is
4 or
this?
5.
Part 4 or 5 apparently. Like, why is it so long? But anyways, so to those of you all that were watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking, commenting, following, subscribing. We've been looking, we've been responding as much as we could, and we definitely appreciate your support. Thanks for tuning in, as Tater said, and we'll see you all in the next one.
Yeah. Next week, Wednesday. Wait, what Wednesdays?
Later.
Peace.